Welcome to the 2717 podcast. I'm Javier, an authentic wedding filmmaker.
And I'm Ashley, a passionate wedding photographer.
We're here to bring Proverbs 27:17 to the wedding industry. As iron sharpens iron,
so one person sharpens another. In this fun series, we're all about sharing experiences and building a community.
Expect heartfelt stories, creative inspiration, and some amazing behind-the-scene moments.
Plus, insights from some truly inspiring guests.
Tune in to connect with us, spark your creativity,
and be a part of a supportive community.
You're listening to the 2717 podcast.
Planning your wedding isn't just about choosing a venue, it's about finding the perfect backdrop for one of the most meaningful moments of your life. That's where Juliana Estate comes in. Nestled in the heart of Lakeland, this elegant estate gives you that classic scenic charm, like a movie set, but it's all yours. Think lush greenery, romantic gardens, and plenty of room for unforgettable moments with the people you love the most. It's a place where every detail feels personal because it's not just a venue. It's where your story begins. See how Juliana Estate can make your wedding day truly yours at julianaestate.com. Thanks for sponsoring today's podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 2717 podcast. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Javi.
And we are so excited to be chatting with you guys today in studio.
Let's go.
Bang.
Ashley, what's new?
What isn't new? No, I'm just kidding. Nothing much. I've been hanging, about to jump back into wedding season. I have my first wedding of fall this Friday, so I'm super, super excited for that. I'm stocked up on all my film. I'm stocked up on all my gear. And I'm feeling pretty good. Actually, letting the viewers know, we went on a double date.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
We did.
Saturday? What day was that? Saturday.
Yep.
Which was super fun. That was really fun to be out of the business world.
Yes.
With our friendship and, with our spouses and stuff. So that was really fun. We were supposed to go to Busch Gardens, but then we got rained out because Florida and the rain is just two peas in a pod. So we couldn't go to Busch Gardens, so we ended up going to Splitsville. We went bowling, and then we went out to dinner, and it was really fun.
We also saw past client for both of us, actually.
Yes, yeah. That was super fun, too. Fun to be out in the world and see your clients.
So it was a lot of fun. Ash, starting today's topic.
Ooh.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is
one of today's topics, I guess.
Yeah, one of many, right?
Always.
I got a question from, I've been getting this question from upcoming videographers lately. And they sent me a message letting me know it's pricing. It's what should I price myself? Or knowing that, or they say hey, I know I deserve this price. I know I'm worth this much, but I don't have a portfolio to show it. I don't have enough clientele to show it. That's what I was approached with. And I was kind of well, one thing the way I've learned, at least business sense so far right now, it's it's never about what we think we deserve.
Right.
It's very much what the market is willing to pay for your services.
Right, a supply and demand
exactly
type of thing.
That validates it, right?
Sure.
So it's we may think we're worth this much, but if we're not being validated, we're not, right?
We're not, yeah.
And so that's where when there's the longevity, a whole bunch of factors come into play. When you're starting out in the beginning, it's you start small and you grow up little by little.
Right. Little by little, for sure. I feel once you take those bigger jumps and you don't have the portfolio to show for it, that's where things can get a little bit sticky. And also, once you increase your pricing, you are going to get less weddings in general or less work in general because you're kind of niching down to a specific type of money bracket, economic bracket.
Very much.
Kind of makes sense.
I'll say the market pool, right?
Sure.
The potential client pool becomes
he just
smaller
as I just word vomit and he just figures it out. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, the market pool just gets a lot smaller as you're charging more, right?
Right, correct.
So it's there's probably more brides within the $500 to $2,000, $2,500, $4,000, $6,000, $8,000, and then once you get to $10,000 and beyond, the pool in itself just keeps getting smaller and smaller. The biggest thing I've kind of come to realize, if anyone asks me is hey, how should I price myself? One of the, I guess, things that I would normally say, it's do you have any leverage? What's your leverage? If you have enough for example, in your finances that you're really good, where you're like, hey, you're not in debt, you don't owe anything, you have another job, this is your side hustle, and you're trying to make it into your main hustle, you can leverage that. And now say like, yeah, you know what? I can be picky about the weddings I take to make sure they're good quality weddings. And when I get the opportunity, I can knock it out of the park.
Right. And align with what you ultimately want for your business.
Exactly.
Like, and showcasing those more than other weddings. Like if you want to take on certain weddings for the money type of thing, like because you want to get the experience, you want to make some extra cash flow, stuff like that, do that. But you should be like showing off the weddings that you do want to book more of. So then those clients are seeing your work and then coming back to you.
Yeah, you have to be super intentional. I know when I first started, I didn't have that luxury.
Yeah.
I didn't have no leverage. I pretty much had to do almost every wedding for the most part and be able to make sure like, okay, it aligns with my values. I'm still able to fulfill the wedding. And even if it's
you got to take some for the team like that.
Yeah. And even if it doesn't align with my portfolio, it's like, I'm going to do my best and try to figure out and learn from it. But it's giving me the opportunity to now search for the next couple that potentially aligns with the work I want to be, a couple I want to be working with. And it's kind of crazy though, that as you progress and you're very much more intentional, that's the big word, intentionality, man. And
yeah, we should just get that tattooed on our foreheads.
There we go. Come over here with a sign one day. But honestly, it's a big thing where when you know who you want to work with, but you're intentional about your own, like God calls us to be really good stewards, right? And when he gives us his fruits or gives us his gifts, or, we've been given, like as a steward, we should be proactively seeking how to utilize it and be productive with it. And that's something where sometimes it becomes lost when you're not being diligent of what you've been given.
Yeah.
And same thing, if you have a good leverage, like a good job and it pays, but this is your calling that you're feeling is the next thing, you have such an advantage as long as you're willing to be studious about it and do the right things so that you can position it very well and make that full transition.
Yeah, one of the creators that I follow, he gives a lot of advice, and he had said something like, if you're wanting to be like all of these big industry, what's the word, like
influencers,
creatives, but like creatives in the wedding space, you know what I mean, that are like influencing that big followings or whatever.
Yeah. You
shouldn't be doing what they're doing now. You should be doing what they were doing when they first started their business, or where you are in your business. Like that's where like mentorships come in and stuff like that, where like if you really look up to somebody, like you don't want to follow what they're doing right now because they already have the followers, have the leverage, have the credibility and all of that fun stuff. So they don't need to work as hard on social media or show up as much on social media or whatever that may be, because they already have the credibility and are booking the weddings they want to book.
Yeah.
So you should be doing what they were doing before they got to where they are.
Yeah.
Which I think is a huge thing too, like with social media and a lot of like comparison, if you will. You see all of these major people and you're like, my work looks like theirs. I'm doing all of the things, like I'm posting whatever and blah, blah, blah. But like, it's still not producing.
And that's where it comes to like figuring out your messaging, your experience as like the creative, right? Like there's so many photographers out there, so many filmmakers, right? And it's finding your own unique voice within it all, but also your work, like, does have to show something for it, but it's like how you're going to guide the experience from the moment they interact with you.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's filmmakers out here that have been really good at just showing up on social media, showing behind the scenes. And even though they like have a good following and maybe they attract a lot of other filmmakers, but they can also become potential clients though at the same time, because if you make educational material for them, then they become a client that you can sell to eventually. But if your main thing is a wedding and you're looking for couples and trying to price your way for a right couple is really just having to look at yourself in the mirror. Do I really have all the tools needed to be even charging this price point? Do I have the experience, the editing, and being able to tell a story? And can I actually do I have some credibility and longevity to showcase this new price point where I'm at?
Yeah, and I think you should also assess like what your cost of business is too. So like how much your CRM is, how much your photo delivery services, how much like all of like how much your gear is, all of that stuff. Take that all of that into account first. Then I would feel like you should look into like your credibility, how much experience you have. All of that stuff really does matter.
Yeah.
And like it does show clients that you're worth investing in when you do have more experience with weddings and different portfolios that they're obsessed with, or wedding galleries that they love and stuff like that. Like, wedding days are a big day. You invest a lot of money into the wedding day itself, but you also invest a lot in your creative team. So, you know,
Yeah.
I know when I was picking my creative team, I was very like intentional with how I structured things, and I was not like, oh, the first one that I vibe with is the person for me. You know what I mean? Like, it can really get that way too. It can be easy to do that because there's so many options, but like when you're like, oh, I vibe with you, this is cool, I like your stuff, but then like there's so many other options out there too. You know what I mean? Like, you get a little timid as a buyer. I feel like you get like,
That's true.
am I sure that I want to invest this much money in this person?
Yeah.
You know? So
That's so true.
I felt that really hard. I was like, oh, that's a big decision, and there's so many options.
So how many videographers you look for?
One. Well, I knew you on a personal level, so that was different. And all of my photography friends, I didn't want. I have a couple of my photography friends coming to my wedding, and I really didn't want to have like that close of a relationship with my, like, you know what I mean? Someone that I'm already friends with shooting my wedding. I wanted to go out, find somebody new, find someone that like had a really similar style to me or whatever. And I'm obsessed with my wedding photographer, Ashley.
She made sure to find another photographer her name.
Yeah. She gets me.
it.
That's why we're like this. I love her. So I'm excited for what she's going to do. But like, there was that, like, I had a couple calls with a couple different photographers and just was like, I don't know. Do I make the jump? I'm scared. This is a big decision.
You know what's
especially with the price point that photographers are at.
Yeah.
It's like, woo.
You know what I was gonna say? This is like off a whole different topic now.
Oh, switch up.
But I told Dominique, who's my wife, I said, I don't think in the future I'll ever film a wedding for people that I know.
Is it too much pressure?
Not at all. I like the sense of like not knowing like where I'm stepping into. Like, I like that excitement in a sense. No, I'm not saying about you or anything. Like, I'm excited for your wedding and whatnot because of you. We have crazy ideas. There's a lot of extras we're doing for Ashley. So, but when it comes to like just in the future, like a close family member or something, or even my best friend, where he told me, he's like, "Do you film my wedding?" I'm like, "No, I'm not filming your wedding. Yeah. I'm your best man, but I'm not filming your wedding." But because at the sense you, it's like I enjoy stepping out of like, okay, I like to film somebody's wedding who I don't know, and I can just freely like be a stranger in a sense, and I enjoy that.
There's no extra noise in your head when you're crafting the story.
And then compared to like if you are filming like a friend's wedding and you know everybody at the wedding, in the beginning it's kind of cool, but afterwards it's like you don't want it to switch up your like the way you view the day in a sense, based on maybe individuals or particulars that are there and stuff like that.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from for sure. In the photography standpoint, which I feel like we find this a lot, like where it's like there's certain things for video where it's like I understand your viewpoint from that perspective, and for photography I feel it differently. Like with this one, I love when I do people that I know's weddings because I have that extra comfortability with them to, you know, feel like I know what they want, make decisions, know their family. Like, one of my really good friends is getting married in January and I'm doing her wedding, and like all of my friends are going to be there. And like, that's going to be so much fun to like work with all of them there and like, just like have a really fun time and like celebrate them. I know them as a couple really well. And like all of that stuff is really nice. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the other thing that hit me is if I'm in the reverse shoe of a couple and I hire somebody that I know, and you're not like pleased with something what the person did, it becomes harder to say and speak it. Where if you don't have that close relationship, it allows that maybe open communication even more.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. I
Yeah.
think that to an extent, even like I feel like the added pressure as a creative doing somebody that you know's wedding can be a little bit of a like just added nerves to wanting to make sure it's perfect for them because you know them on a more personal level.
Yeah.
I feel that too, to an extent. But I also feel like I produce really well for people that I know because I do know them more on a deeper level, which is why you should know you're creative.
I think it makes it easier, honestly, for photo for sure, because when
For
you know people's
that's why I'm like
names,
for photo.
you can get them
Yeah.
for family photos. It's gonna make your life
like
so much
exactly. It's
easier.
like I know exactly like who
Yeah.
mom is and probably where she is, like who
Yep.
she's talking to and whatever, and like getting to know their names, family stuff, even just like the comfortability of the couple with like posing and stuff, which isn't always the easiest thing because people don't always love a camera in their face, which I understand. So just like that aspect of things, also like having that more personal level with a couple is really nice too. So yeah, I think it could go either way. I see for video your point though of like wanting to kind of document from an outside lens so then you can create from what you have, like
Yeah.
the ingredients that you got from the wedding day, instead of like this story about this person and all the cookies and like all the cookies, all the all the cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Not all the cookies.
Well,
or I hope there's cookies.
An
but-
example though, what I do love about like going into a wedding who I don't know like all the guests or anything is the type of wedding where you get to do a destination wedding. Like my next wedding is in Italy, so
That's so exciting.
I know, I'm excited for it. So
Where are you going?
we're going to Napoli, and then it's like a beautiful resort. The couple has it for 3 days total. So they'll have a rehearsal dinner, welcome party, day 1, day 2, wedding day, and day 3 they'll have like a post brunch and a pool day.
That is so much fun.
So-
I'm all about wedding weekends.
So we're documenting everything.
We gotta
I'm
do
very
more wedding
excited for
weekends.
it. It's gonna be very, very fun. Like I can already imagine the film. Beautiful couple. I'm excited because she's pure Italian, and so her family lives out there, and so a
That's
lot of the
super
film might
cool.
be in like true authentic Italian in the sense.
That's gonna be so cool. So
I'm gonna
fun.
have to like figure out like transcribing things a lot on that side, because I want to use like if her dad has something to say, or a best friend or something, they're speaking Italian, I want to make sure that I'm able to communicate it into their film and add those bite-sized parts in there. But I'm excited because like, okay, I'm gonna meet new faces, and when you are in those type of settings and in those type of weddings, it's fun because you become like a family member or a friend to them, because you're documenting them, and you're
Right.
like, so everybody's so happy and everybody's enjoying it, and so that's what I'm excited about, and it allows us to create new memories and new opportunities with others.
Yes, and that's again like also one of my favorite things about weddings is the people that you get to meet, the connections that you get to have with, certain people. Like you get to meet so many different people and have so many conversations that you wouldn't normally have with, someone that's technically a stranger, like their dad, you know what I mean? Like you could talk to them about whatever. And like I found so many people at weddings that are like the same sports team fans as me, and then you like start talking sports and all of that stuff.
Go
Which is
Bucks.
super fun. Go Niners. What is it? October 12th. I'll see you there at Raymond James.
We already know who's gonna win. Buccaneers.
It's the 49ers.
All right.
We'll circle back to this moment in time
Yeah.
right now. Okay. But also the influence that you do have at weddings can create a ever like lasting effect, because I shot a wedding in March of this year, and 2 of her bridesmaids have booked me for their wedding since then. And like that is the coolest thing ever to me. Like the people that you get to meet, like we had the best time in March. So much fun. It was such a beautiful wedding. It's so much fun. I shot their rehearsal dinner too, which was really, really great. Like you got to meet all the bridal party and all of their close family friends beforehand. Love rehearsal dinner. And then the wedding day was so much fun. It was great. All feel good vibes. And then within the past couple of months, 2 of her bridesmaids have reached out to me, and both have booked me for their weddings in next year. And that's so fun, like, because now I get to see that past bride again in their bridal parties, and also like meet all of their friends and their families. Like it's just like an everlasting little circle of love.
Yeah.
You know? How
Yeah.
cool. I just like love it. And like I already feel close to like even like hopping on a consult call with someone that I've met previously from a bridal party. I'm like, hey, girly pop, how you doing? Like, what's new? What's exciting? I've missed you since March. Like, what's going on? You know? So it
Yeah.
feels like an extra little for fun thing. So that's been fun. But
I love it.
yeah, you never know the little impact that you can sprinkle.
Very much. You can be their light to their day, honestly. And in the way that you approach your craft,
Yeah.
especially if you're showing up with a camera, you're introducing yourself to everybody, have a really nice smile, and they can sense the energy throughout the day consistently. That's a huge thing, you know. I'll get compliments. It's like, hey, we love that you were just so friendly and you were smiling the whole time, and you, in those real genuine moments, really showcase. Where I actually had a bride who she hired me because not only did I do like a family member's wedding for them, but it's because she saw how there was a scenario or scene I was on playing at the wedding, and she liked the way that I took charge to make the decisions about certain things when it came to the lighting, when it came to where should they stand or move. And I just like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. And even though it wasn't for me to really decide, it was just left up to me to decide. I said, all right, let's go ahead and just do this because somebody needed to direct. And so, and she really liked the way that I just took charge in that scenario where it's like, if anything were to happen in my wedding, I trust that he's going to make the right choices.
I have a interesting next topic that I would like to dive into. It's, should influencer brides get vendor discounts, or is exposure not a form of payment?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a really good one because with this day and age, they be all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to keep it real,
So I'm
100.
gonna keep it a book,
A buck
a literal book.
is, for me, in my case, in my scenario, I think it all depends about situation, right? I think as a business owner, you can decide whether or not if the risk is worth it for you to do it for the exposure. Personally, for me, that's one of the things I care least about is exposure. And you may be like, well, that's very contradictory based on, you know, you want to be discovered, you want to be seen for your talents and what you do. But what I'm not willing to do is give it away for free in that sense, because I got a family and I got to provide for them consistently. And it's, for me, ethically, it just feels wrong because I have so many couples who did pay me full price, who did believe in my vision, who believed in my abilities. That would be a disservice to them if I'm willing to take another couple's wedding at a maybe beautiful venue or something and doing it completely for free.
Right. Like, what makes them different just because they have
An exposure.
1 million followers?
Yeah.
Like what makes their love story that much different than somebody else's
Exactly.
to make...
And I've done influencer weddings where the couple combined had well over 2 million followers together, which is, you know, and guess what? They were a happy paying customer, you know, in that sense.
I think that's where, kind of to piggyback off what you said, like that's where it kind of gets me, is when it's assumed, like when it's like the initial inquiry is hey, this is the situation, let's see what we can do to like discount like this person, it has this many followers, or like even like people that reach out to you and they're like, oh, like I'd love to do like a for funsies for free shoot or anything like that. It's like, it's when it's assumed, you know what I mean, that was going to be a thing.
Yes.
That doesn't need to happen. And like I saw this one influencer guy. I always be referencing TikTok.
Yeah, you do.
I'll be in the know, you know.
Yeah. I avoid TikTok.
And he was at this coffee shop, and the person next to him was being mean to the like service staff, saying how like she needed a discount, like comped her food because whatever. And the manager came over and was like, no, we don't do any comping unless it's like you know what I mean? Like pre-discussed or whatever, but we'll get you on our PR list or whatever. And then, the guy was like, you don't need to be rude. Like this person was being rude to the service staff, and the guy next to them, like listening, was like, you don't need to be rude to them, like whatever. And I guess she had said something like, oh, you just don't know like how to be an influencer or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he has like 1 million followers he was like, hi, I have like 2-point-something million followers on Instagram, and I will take your PR list. And he was like, just because you're an influencer doesn't mean you get stuff for free. And he's like, I'm happy. Like, I don't just go places and assume
Yeah.
I'm going to get something for free unless it's, or discounted or whatever, unless it's like
Prearranged.
prearranged.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like, if, you know, the circumstances, like, even if we're on a call and like you're interested in a package and being like, hey, I don't know, whatever. Like, it's all circumstantial, like you said, which I think I do agree with, but it's just when it's like already.
Yeah, you can never assume anything, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so truthfully, when I do get those inquiries, those are, and it comes in that manner, it's more like, I don't need it, you know,
Yeah.
in a sense. And now I'm gonna switch like the position, right? Let's say I am a newbie
Mm-hmm.
and I am starting out and I am getting this inquiry for this wedding. I mean,
Do it.
in a sense, I'm like, you got nothing to lose.
You got nothing to lose.
If you're already there. But what I will say is that make sure you knock it out of the park so that it actually was worth doing it free of charge or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, here's the like, you know, little, I guess, tip, right? You can do whatever you want. But one thing I will say is being very cautious about if the influencer is working with brands and promising the brands the material of your work or what you
Ooh,
produce.
yeah, that's a really
Because
good thing, too.
now that becomes a commercial licensing agreement that you got to figure out rather than like a personal license agreement that is usually for like a couple to use your footage or have their wedding footage, you know? And so that becomes very tricky because then you can be compensated by these brands, especially if
Right.
they're, you know, influencers with millions of followers working with top 500 companies. It's like, hey, they got the money to be able to
They got the money.
to be able to
They can fill in what this influencer doesn't want
exactly
to.
be able to
Yeah.
pay for those rights to use your footage. And so
Yeah.
and if you don't know, you know, I would say is hire a lawyer, discuss with people if they're pushing back or something of that nature, because ultimately, especially if they already agreed, you know, and now they're using it in a different manner. And I've heard some stories about that, and then they had to come up and pay because ultimately it was for commercial licensing. It wasn't for personal licensing. Because
that's crazy.
let's say the bride gets sponsored by a bridal company and they give a bridal gown for free, and it's a very expensive gown, and they're promising X amount of videos
And
of that gown.
photos or gown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this goes to content creators, and this also goes to videographers, photographers, right? Like anything of media use can also be used in commercial use as well. So it's got to be careful in that sense.
Yeah. So ultimately, I don't think exposure is a form of payment. But in a growing industry, or what the wedding industry, and also with social media growing, that's a common thing that might come up. And yeah, I just don't think it's a form of payment. I think that if you want to work something out, you should do it on your terms and not have it be like this is an end all be all. And if someone ultimately is just looking for a discount and they don't honor and love your work, they're just looking for something, like, you know what I mean, just whatever,
Like a
like
handout in that sense because
have
of
a
their
move on,
influence.
you
Yeah.
know, like it's like you can come back at them and be like, nope, this is what I charge, whatever. And if they move on, don't take it to heart, because ultimately they're just kind of looking for like any deal that they can get. So
Exactly.
don't take it too hard. All the ghosting and stuff.
I know.
Don't be ghosting.
It gets crazy, man. And honestly, like as you get better as a business owner, you'll be able to learn how to find the right couples to work with you consistently, and that you'll be able to fill your calendars up with the weddings that you only dreamt of, and now you're actually filming those and doing it on a consistent basis. And that's where like I love like when the creative has control over the clients they're working with, being able to sustain themselves in a business and be thriving at it. I think that's where like real power really comes in.
Yeah.
I know there's a big thing in the industry where like networking is important, you know, and it's important to be able to like connect with planners, connect with DJs, connect with other vendors, and to have those vendor referrals. But it should never make up the majority of your own clientele, like of your own business. It should be more like a little small asset to, you know, as you're diversifying your lead sources.
Yeah, because
You wanna-
ultimately you'll need them.
Exactly. You'll need them, and they'll provide some really cool special opportunities because they're like,
Yeah.
we can trust in Iron Collective, or we can trust in Ashley J Photography or Sundial Creatives,
Yeah.
right? And that's like a big honor when it's a vendor referral, but also you want to be able to have a control to just find the right couples.
Right. You want control of your own business for
Very
sure. Like
much.
something that you've built, something that you want to continue to build, it should be on your terms
Yeah.
and not based on what anyone else is trying to
Yeah.
feeding you or doing for you or whatever.
Yeah.
Because then you are kind of a puppet, if
Yeah.
you will.
Very much. Now there are in some cases, right? Like even within the wedding industry that like you're going to have to play the game.
Yeah.
The political kind of game within the industry. But that to me honestly only really comes with the luxury market. Because there's only so much planners, maybe a handful of planners that deal with the like real luxury of like over $1 million, 7 figures in weddings, right? That they're only going to assemble their own teams that they trust.
Right.
And that takes time. And the only way to get there really is that buddy system type of thing. It's unfortunate, but it depends on your goals, right? And if your goal is to do that, then that's what you're going to have to kind of do, honestly. But that's not us.
Word.
Yeah.
Retweet what he said. Okay, jumping in, we are going to end this episode with a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about our game. It's game time.
Let's go.
Woo! Sorry for our audio listeners. I just screamed in your ear. We are going to play 2 wedding truths and a wedding lie. So we have to tell crazy stories from second shooters, from weddings or something like that. 2 of them are true. 1 of them is a lie, and the other person has to guess which one is the lie. So, Javi,
Ooh, all
what
right.
are your two truths and a lie? And then you guys can guess. You can guess in the comments or whatever.
All right, let's go. Number 1.
Okay.
I had a second shooter who dropped a lens.
Ooh.
Number 2, I had a bride who cheated on their husband on the day of the wedding. And
No
number
way.
3, I used 3 sandbags for a wedding.
3 sandbags?
Yeah, for a wedding for each light every single time.
You use 3.
Yeah.
Only 3.
Only 3.
I feel like I should know this because the sandbag one. I feel like you bring 4, but I feel like you only use 3. Actually, yes, you do only use 3 for your lights. So I think that's true. That was not crazy, by the way.
I know.
So I couldn't think of nothing. Second shooter dropped a lens. What lens was it?
85 millimeter.
How long ago did the bride cheat on the groom?
3 years ago. 2 years ago, actually.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I don't know. What do you guys think it is? Leave it in the comments. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I think it's the cheating one.
Yes.
It was that one.
It
That was the
is,
lie.
But technically, it's kind of true.
You can't do that.
I was a second shooter, so it wasn't my wedding, but it was a wedding, though.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No way. Did the wedding get canceled?
They didn't find out until later. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the groom.
Till later in the day?
Yeah.
So they had already gotten married, but was it during reception?
Oh no. Okay, it wasn't day of wedding.
Later.
Yeah.
Later.
Like a week later.
She cheated a week later, or he found out a week later? Or
think
she was cheating?
She was cheating.
Oh. Yikes.
Yeah.
That stinks.
Yeah. It was a very nice wedding too, but yeah.
Yeah, fair.
All right, Ash, you're up.
Okay. Okay. Trying to think of what order to put them all in.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Let's
We
go.
need like mood lighting, like Jimmy Fallon when he like does this game.
Oh yeah, we can turn on the.
What is that?
Oh, this.
It's got a secret light back here.
Shh.
What is that? Did that do anything?
Well, not really, but I'm about to make it too. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, then you're into a special treat. But
Ooh, all right. Hold on. Mood lighting.
if you're listening, we encourage you to go onto YouTube or
Period.
Instagram.
Period.
Yeah. Let's go red.
Scary. Bum bum bum.
Dun dun dun. You know what we're gonna do?
All right, I'm ready. I'm waiting for it.
All right. Hit it. I'm gonna lower the lights. You ready?
With the timing.
Yeah. Okay.
My first one is
Let's go.
okay.
Ooh, this is game time.
Go Niners.
Boo.
Okay, my first one is I once shot a wedding where the officiant forgot to do the vows and the rings.
I believe that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had a trolley bus at a wedding I shot break down, and they had to figure out a way to like bring another bus to where we were. We were stranded for 30 minutes.
I believe that.
And then the first wedding that I ever did, they were 70 years old.
Those are real good. I feel like the 71 could be alive, but yet it also feels like you could have done a renewal or something. But I'm gonna call a cap on that one. The last one.
The last one?
Yeah.
No.
The middle one then.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. My first wedding, they were 70 years old, 80 years old. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. They were so cute.
That's so
It
crazy.
was my first wedding I ever did, and I was all over Pinterest. Like I loved weddings. I was wanting to get into weddings. It was my first one I ever did. And I was doing like her details like on their side of their street, and they were living in a little mobile home, and like she had her cutie little shoes and her perfume, and I was doing this like trendy detail shot for her, and she's like, I don't care about any of that, dog. I just wanted a photographer. And I was like, look at how cute the details. And I just remember
you love
like,
them details. That's for
love
sure.
them details.
Oh,
and I did
man.
have an officiant forget to do the rings and the vows.
I remember you telling me that one. I remember that one.
That one was crazy too.
Yeah.
I remember the bride after we got done, she was like, did we not do? And I was like, no.
Nope.
No, we didn't. But yeah, that would have been crazy, the shuttle one. So
That's crazy.
yeah. All right, Javi, where can they find you?
At sundial.creatives on Instagram and TikTok, and at sundialcreatives.com.
And you can find me at Ashley Jade Photography LLC on Instagram and TikTok and through my website. And then you can find us at the 2717 Podcast on Podcast, Spotify, wherever you listen. I don't know, YouTube, all the things. And then you can find us on the 2717 Podcast on Instagram. We love you. We will see you next time. Bye.